Good afternoon. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan joining you live with the latest on a developing scene after we had word of a shooting incident on the east side around 12:40 today. Want to get you up to speed on the very latest. There were two IMPD officers that we're told were shot after there was a short chase around 30th and Post. Those two officers taken to Eskenazi Hospital, where we're told they have injuries that are considered to be non-life threatening. As a result of the shooting today, there are schools in the Warren Township Metropolitan School District that are closed. Karen Campbell joins me live here in studio with the latest that she's learned about the impact of students on their school day right now. Karen.
Right, so you can imagine, right? Their day is.
Karen, I am so sorry. This briefing is just starting, and we want to get there right now. I'm sorry. We'll check back with you, but we want to hear what the officers
give you as
have to say
preliminary
right
information
now.
And subject to change as the investigation progresses. So today at around 12:40 p.m. approximately, the Indiana Crime Guns Task Force was engaged in an investigation with the Lawrence Police Department on a shooting incident that occurred in Lawrence's jurisdiction. They encountered the potential suspect in that shooting, driving a vehicle with a passenger in the car as well. The officers attempted to stop this vehicle at 30th and Post. The suspect driver and the suspect passenger fled in the vehicle westbound on 30th Street. On two separate occasions, task force members attempted to do a precision intervention technique, which is to spin the car out to stop the pursuit. That was unsuccessful. In approximately the 8600 block of East 30th Street, the suspect turned south into a business parking lot. That parking lot had a dead end on the east side of the building into a 6-foot fence. Suspect went off-road in the gap between the business and the residents on the south side of that business. The vehicle became lodged. At that point, there was an exchange of gunfire between the suspect and our officers. 4 officers shot at the suspect. There was one shooting suspect who is deceased on the scene. He's a 46-year-old male. 2 officers sustained gunshot wounds. They are in stable condition at Eskenazi Hospital and are expected to recover. 1 rifle, AR-15 type rifle, is with the suspect who is deceased on the scene. One of the police cars is riddled with bullets in both the hood, the side of the car, the grill, and both the front and back windshields. The passenger in this vehicle fled from the scene and was apprehended a short while later near the location by members of the task force. He has been transported to IMPD headquarters for questioning. The officers were equipped with body-worn cameras. We have not watched those cameras, so I can't tell you what's on there. I'm here today with Commander Thomas of the IMPD Investigations Division and our partners with the ATF, Group Supervisor Christopher Knotts. They don't have any statements to give at this particular time, but the Indiana Crime Guns Task Force is a collaborative effort between Central Indiana law enforcement agencies with the sole purpose of identifying and removing illegally possessed and used weapons in our community. Every single day, these task force members from agencies throughout Central Indiana, not just in Marion County, Carmel, Fishers, Lawrence, Boone County, Zionsville, the ATF, are all engaged and they have one mission: to make our community safer and to protect them from people who on a daily basis use firearms against their neighbors. We are fed up with it. The community should be fed up with it. And we have 2 officers that are lucky to be alive today. And they're doing exactly what we want them to do, despite all the odds, despite everything that's stacked up against them, despite all the criticism they take every single day. They put on the uniform today and went out to get the people who are terrorizing our neighborhoods. We all owe them a debt of gratitude.
Can we ask questions, Assistant Chief?
Yes.
The weapon used obviously would put you at war with this person. Can you just remind us, basically, you've seen the pictures, you've seen the vehicle. Those officers came to work today. They didn't come to go to war, but they found themselves at war with this individual. Can you just talk about the weapon and what what they came under, the assault that they came under?
Well, based on just what I've been able to see, we're lucky today. The bullets went through the metal of the car. There's a part of the side of the car that's peeled back. That's how powerful of a weapon those officers are up against. Now, I don't know the type of weapon. I don't know the caliber of the round. I don't know any of that right now. That'll be all part of the investigation. That's why our partners from the ATF are here. They're going to get the serial number from that gun. They're going to do an emergency trace, and we're going to know where this weapon came from, hopefully in short order. How did this person get a hold of this weapon and to use against not only us, but our community members?
Chief Bailey, we're getting word that the officers were transported by possibly a red truck or somebody else. How were the officers transported to the hospital? The
officers were transported, self-transported by other officers. They were put in the back of police cars, which is a thing that we're doing now when our officers are shot. And if we know they don't need to be stabilized on scene, and we have the ability to get them to the hospital quicker, that's how they were transported in the back of a police car today.
Can you say anything more about what the suspect was wanted for outside of warrants?
No, he wasn't necessarily wanted for warrants. This was an ongoing investigation in cooperation with the Lawrence Police Department and the Indiana Crime Guns Task Force. That investigation is still ongoing, so I wouldn't expect to get more information on that one until the Lawrence Police Department has, completed their investigation.
Obviously,
approximately how many rounds were fired by the suspect, and is there any reason to believe that the weapon that was used had an auto sear attached to it?
I don't know the question about the auto sear or the conversion device, and I can't give you an account, but there were multiple shots.
Obviously, Chief Bailey, you're emotional talking about what happened today. As a fellow officer, when you see these types of incidents, what goes through your mind?
Well, the first thing is I went for prayer to make sure that they get to go home to their families tonight for just doing a job. They don't deserve to be targeted. But then it was frustration, both for them and our community. We're all tired of this. We're all tired of the violence. I don't know what's happened. I can't put my finger on it. I know that our officers and detectives every single day have a mission, and the number one priority for us is to stop violent crime. But we need help. We cannot do this alone. The community has to hold themselves accountable. We took a rifle off of a juvenile in downtown Indianapolis this weekend. Did no one notice? No family members, no cousins, no nieces, nephews, no other friends said, hey, don't take that gun downtown? But the first question we always get is, what are you police doing about all this? Well, my next question is, what is the community doing about this? Because we need their help. If they know something's happening, they see this juvenile with an assault type or AK-47 type rifle, and you're not stopping that person from going down, you're complicit. You're complicit in the violence that's happening, and it's unacceptable.
Is people still being told to avoid this area at this point? What's still blocked off that people should know if they're heading home from work?
Yeah, we're going to be here for some time. We're going to, Crime Lab is going to be doing their thing. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office also has a representative, as is always the case at officer-involved shooting incidents. So it's going to take some time to do that. It's going to be investigated by the Critical Incident Response Team. At the same time, the Internal Affairs Bureau will be conducting a parallel investigation about internal things that'll go at the same time. The process will conduct a review. We'll release a critical incident video in the coming weeks to show exactly what happened. We'll have updates as we go along throughout the day. And one thing I do need to tell you, at 3:30 today, the Chief of Police and the Mayor will provide some comments at Eskenazi Hospital. 3:30 today, they'll provide some comments at the hospital.
Is there any chance you'll get that video out earlier?
No, we have our process. We're going to walk through our process like we do every single time because it's important for us to be consistent on that. We have one prior officer-involved shooting that video will be coming out fairly soon. So we're going to walk through our process like we always do. It's important that we maintain a process.
What's that perimeter on road closures, just so people know? Do you know that?
I don't know exactly,
Okay.
but I can tell you between Post Road and Franklin, it's shut down for sure.
Right around 30th to 38th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Just to recap, this was an AR-style rifle that was found. Is that?
That's my understanding. I haven't gotten a close view. That's how it was described to me. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Chief Bailey.
All right, that was Assistant Chief of Police with IMPD, Chris Bailey, giving us an update about this shooting near 30th and Post Road. I'll give you a quick recap of what he told us. Officers were investigating an individual, noticed their car, tried to stop it near 30th and Post. That car fled west down 30th, turned into a business, ended up being a dead end, and that's when the suspects got out and exchanged gunfire with police. Assistant Chief Bailey saying that one of the suspects had an AR-style rifle and completely riddled the squad car with bullet holes. 2 officers injured, taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, but Assistant Chief Bailey saying that was very, very lucky. He was very emotional. We've been to 2 fatal shootings this morning, one just down the road about a mile away. The police are obviously fed up with the violence. Communities are fed up with the violence, and they're asking for communities' help to help maybe identify some of these incidents before they happen and they turn into serious incidents like the one we're seeing here on the east side.
I know that you cover IMPD on a daily basis. You're out talking with families, you're at the scene, you're talking with officers every single day of the week. This stood out to me, this range of emotions that we're hearing from our Assistant Chief of Police, Chris Bailey. We are fed up. We need help. We need prayers. Frustrating. We're tired of the violence. I have not seen that range of emotion coming from officers to date, although we've been talking about these conversations here. How did it strike you? Because you are in a daily conversation with them.
The exact same way it struck you, Ann, and we heard this earlier this morning from Officer Burris giving us sort of the same sentiment, and then it really just boiling over here at this point. We have 2 officers wounded in a shootout with a suspect they were trying to stop here near 30th and Post, and that person had a weapon with serious firepower, injuring these 2 police officers, and as Assistant Chief Bailey said, was lucky to be alive. They're taken to Eskenazi Hospital, but it all starts at home. Does anyone, brought up the incident about the rifle that was confiscated downtown over the weekend? Well, this was a teen. Did anybody notice that rifle was leaving a house? Did a family member, a friend maybe step in, intervene? Is there any intervention before police have to get involved? And when police do get involved, sometimes it's too late, or it ends in gunfire or something tragic like that. But a very emotional, we don't see this all the time from police, emotional Assistant Chief Bailey today.
Yes, well, they had 4 officers that were on the scene there, according to his report. 2 of them ended up being transported, self-transported by police to Eskenazi Hospital. So that was an AR-15 rifle, John, that he said that was used there. It sounded to me like, gosh, this was like a scene out of a movie almost, that you have a car that was a suspect with a passenger kind of trapped in a business parking lot and then just riddling the police cruiser there. The way he described that scene just really sounded horrific, and he used the word terrorism in our community.
Yeah, terrorizing our communities, recognizing communities stepping up to recognizing these problems that are terrorizing Indianapolis communities, because we see so many shootings, so many homicides, and one that, and I don't believe I mentioned this, but you heard Assistant Chief Bailey say the driver of that car that was fleeing, a man in his 40s that was being investigated by police, was shot and killed at the scene. The passenger in that car running off, police took that person into custody. But you're right, they need the sentiment there was fed up. This is boiled over. They've seen enough, communities have seen enough. We've been enough scenes today. I mean, this is the third, 2 of them fatal earlier this morning. One of a teenager of an Arsenal High School student killed at the bus stop. So there is just a sentiment overall within the city that enough is enough. We're fed up.
All right, John Duran reporting live near the scene near 30th and Post. So we want to make sure that you're up to date. I want to clarify that was an AR-15 styled rifle. Thank you so much, John. If you are traveling on the east side, we want you to know that right now Post is closed between 25th and 30th as that investigation gets underway. Also, 30th is closed between Post and Franklin. You heard there from police. They've got the prosecutor, they got the coroner, they have internal affairs, they've got the critical incident response team. So a large police presence out there as they investigate the scene there, mark the scene, and record the scene. So please stay out of that area. There's also been an impact on schools. This is on the east side. That is the Metropolitan School District of Warren Township. And there are a list of schools that have been impacted. So we want to show that to you right now that have been on lockdown today. The schools. Warren Central, Lakeside Elementary, Pleasant Run also impacted there. Renaissance School, our graphic there, I can't see the correct name of all of what there. Highlander Park, and also that early childhood center that are impacted in the Warren Township area. So keep that in mind. I talked with somebody at the Renaissance School who told me that the students, they were making an effort to transition to e-learning for the rest of the day. Of course, this incident went down shortly after the lunch hour around 12:40 today. So those schools are impacted. Traffic is impacted. At 3:30, we're told the police chief and the mayor, Joe Hogsett, are going to be gathering near Eskenazi Hospital, and they're going to be having a press conference there. I would imagine traffic in that area as we're getting into the afternoon and people are starting to leave work around 4 o'clock could also be impacted. We will bring you that press conference. We will also have complete coverage from all of our teams here at 13 News starting at 5 o'clock. Everything that we're gathering, we're also putting online on our 13 News app and also on our website. A devastating day for our community, and the police chief is fed up and says enough is enough. Our coverage continues here. I'm going to return you to normal programming. I'm Anne Marie Tiernan. Back more with Later Live.